Linda and Arlene, and we're here for episode 3 that we're continuing on our energy episode for the month. And this time we're speaking about mental energy. And the mental energy is the focus of our energy. So, mental energy is the ability to perform cognitive tasks like problem solving, sustaining, attention, focusing, and making decisions. A positive emotional state, your feelings, not only does it feel powerful, but represents more energetic conditions, the so-called mental energy. You know, mental fatigue happens when you have anxiety. Common symptoms of mental fatigue: lack of vitality, low resilience, and setbacks and misfortunes, depression, physical fatigue from it, sleep issues. Geez, I could check off some of these. This isn't too good. Increase in illness and poor eating habits. That happens when you're under mental stress. And I think this world, as it's speeding up, and we know that it's been speeding quicker and quicker. You know, there's scientific proof. Do you know this, Linda? That in the natives, because you're native, they've said they quote saying the stars are in a different position. And they say actually the globe, the world has shifted a little bit. So the axis,
yeah, that's right. That's true.
right? Is that correct?
That's true. That's correct.
The pressures and everything is just speeding up faster and faster and faster. I can't believe, the time frame, however, all the months keep going quicker, 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 quicker. How to clear your mental energy is, of course, we're going to touch again upon meditation, stretching exercises, get out in nature, move your body, go complaint free.
Right.
And smile often.
Yeah.
You and I don't have a problem with that.
No, we're always laughing.
So what affects mental energy? It is food, drugs, sleep, and diseases. And mental exhaustion. The brain receives too much stimulation or has to maintain an intense level of activity without rest. So this, again, goes to the physical, where people are working incessantly and they don't stop. And that affects all your other components in your mental, because you're, thinking.
Well, giving too much to thought processes is, how when you're even in school, how exhausted you are after studying?
Yeah, you short circuit. Actually, and I don't know if you felt, it's like your brain hurts.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually, you go, it's like, and the lack of mental energy is chronic stress. So chronic stress causes all of these things. Mental energy, some people are born with a genetic advantage. Others have illnesses and are genetically more susceptible to ADHD, anxiety, and depression. So some people come in and they just genetically disposed to have a higher mental state, and others don't.
Exactly.
And then different things, as I said, illnesses and things like that could affect how people are. A lot of times, as you know, when babies are born, right?
Yes.
Things happen during the delivery. I mean, just going through the birth canal is such, you wonder how we come out, because our brains are still pliable, but they're being smushed, right?
Exactly.
How about the babies that are forceps delivery, where there's injury?
My son had forceps with
Mine did too. So how do we reset our brains to be happy? And one is to laugh out loud.
Laughter really makes it happen.
We don't have an issue with that. Practice gratitude, be grateful. Hug a pet.
Yeah.
Make time to meditate. Go on a nature adventure. Take a break and give your gut some TLC.
Exactly.
I don't know what it means by giving your gut TLC. I like my martinis.
I used to like a martini. I can't do martinis anymore.
I know. When you get older, it's harder to deal with all of that. So what are your thoughts on our mental?
Well, it's just like you said, but breathing helps. Breathe slow, breathe in and out. Notice your breath. Notice the breath. Listen to your body. And you will notice a lot of stress coming off, a lot of that mental stuff coming out. Because we create our own reality. So if you're in constant fight or flight, guess what? You create more of the same.
Exactly.
If you're always worried about money, and you can't get a break on money, but you keep asking the higher realm for help with money, but you think in terms of not having money, guess what? You create more of the same.
Yep.
You have to let it go and let it happen.
This is a good line. What you feed breeds.
Yes.
I worked with somebody once and I told her that. And she never forgot that. When I was leaving the job, she said to me, she goes, what you feed breeds. It's just like, with our plants, right? If you take water away and the nutrients, what's going to happen?
Right.
It's going to
Yes.
grow up and just go. It's going to be gone. And, a lot that's going on in the world now. And like I said, I'm not going to go into, of course, I know you talk a lot about the politicking and I'm not going there, but the news reporters and everything, they sensationalize so much and they feed that stream
They feed the fear.
constant. If we just cut it off, if you cut off from a person, it's going to shrivel up and go away, right?
Well, maybe not the issues, but you don't have to jump on that bandwagon of overdo it. They do it for money. That's the sad part. But I like the saying by Abraham, that which is like unto itself is drawn. You cannot create what you're not. So you have that which is like unto itself is drawn, and look at your life and what you're representing and what you think every day. And be careful about judging too, because we like to, my mom was quite the judger. So there was always, she sized people up, and we can't do that. As much as it's part of our modus operandus, we have to allow every person their own, catch yourself. And if you can, try to smile at people, even if they don't smile back, because those kind of energies are shown on the other side. When you die, the things that are shown is what you did or to help someone else or to give someone else some positive energy.
They say exactly, yeah. When we cross over, we're going to judge ourselves, not somebody. They say it's like looking in this big book where the pages go real quickly.
Yes.
Go back to when you're a child. Say if you're on the school ground and you kick somebody in their shin, you're going to be that other child and you're going to feel it.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And you have to be very mindful. And it's true, a smile could shift the energy. So, quick story, here we are. You guys won't be deprived of hearing stories because Linda and I have lived and been around the block quite a few times. So we have quite a few stories to share. But anyways, so one day I was going to work. This was my last job. I was working as a mobile x-ray tech. Oh my God, the company was horrible. But they told us, we had to drive to places because it was mobile. And they said if we got in an accident, if it was our fault or not our fault, we would have to pay the first $2,000 out of our own pocket.
I wonder if they took that to court, though, if they'd have to pay it. Probably
I know,
not.
but isn't that crazy? I mean,
people are like that.
But that was embedded in your brain. So I'm leaving for work one morning, right? So I'm in the traffic's in front of me. And there was a stoplight. And I had my foot on the brake.
Yeah.
I guess I must have lifted it off the brake. Don't ask me why. But I didn't hit the gas, but I kind of just gently rolled into the car in front of me.
Oh my God.
And it just went like this, so gentle, Linda. It just went, whoop, whoop. Well, this deranged old man jumps out of his car. And all I'm thinking in my mind is, say mental, what's going on in my mind? Oh, crap. $2,000. I'm going to be charged for whatever happens. I'm going to lose. And I'm thinking I'm going to lose my job. So he gets out of his car and I rolled down my window. I don't even think I got, I did get out of the car at first to look. Linda, it was an old beat up. There was nothing, not a dent, nothing. Because I gently just rolled. He goes, oh my God. And he was going spastic. He was going like off. Now the old Arlene would be, since I was working, and I just was very calm and quiet. And I said, all right, what, I said, there's nothing here. And I was showing him there's nothing here. He goes, you don't know what could be underneath damage that you could have caused. And I said, okay, fine. I said, take it in someplace and have them check out your car. Okay. And I went back to the car. I sat down. He comes over to the window, and I said, "Here's my name and my number." And I gave him, and I said, "Call me," because I want to take, I said, "Call me." And I said, all I kept saying is, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. It's, have a great day." And I shifted, I swear to God, I shifted the energy, and he just quieted down. And I smiled at him, and I said, "Okay, and I said, here's the information." Do you know what? Nothing ever came of it.
Did you get upset? Were you worried?
Sure than shit I was. 'Cause yeah, yeah, I was, because that was my livelihood. And I thought, oh my God. In any event, the reason why I brought that up is, how do you react to things? Do you know what I'm saying? How do you go
Yeah.
crazy with it? And how you could shift the energy around situations. If you're mindful and, if you attack a person, you both start attacking each other back and forth, or you could bring it down. You could bring it
Right.
down. I actually, when I had my business also, I had an audit. The IRS came in, and when you have a bit, you do not want the IRS.
I've never had the IRS
Yeah.
come out.
So, anyways, we had to go in. I had to go in, and he goes, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything." Well, he didn't. And she was attacking me, attacking me, attacking me, attacking. And
The IRS agent?
the first thing she said to me is, "Don't worry, honey. The floor is not going to open up and swallow you in." And then she proceeded to tell me, "Oh, the man that was sitting in the chair before you, he had a nosebleed and he was bleeding profusely."
Because his nerves were shot.
She was just trying to unnerve me, And all of a sudden it kicked in, because I know energy. We're energy beings, okay? And I work with different forms of the light. White light carries all the colors of the spectrum. But specifically, if somebody's confrontational with you and they want to argue and fight, you put purple light. Now, if you can't imagine purple light, just say the words in your mind mentally, say it. And I started doing that. And I swear to God, on a dime, she stopped in her tracks what she was talking about, said, "Okay, we'll just do this and this, and then, turn it into me." When we left, the accountant I was with, he looked at me, he goes, what happened in there? And I just chuckled. We had to go back a second time. And I looked at him, I said, "Listen, I know you think I'm nuts. I believe in angels and all, but I said, I'm telling you, just keep saying purple light, and I will too." And she was wonderful. She turned completely around.
No.
We are very magnificent. I'm deviating off topic here, but we're very magnificent beings. We're very powerful, not coming from ego, but we're powerful beings. And we don't realize everything is out there for us, and we can manifest anything we want. Not one of us is more important, more special than anybody else. I don't care who it is.
But I also know you can use it for negative. I had a woman, I had moved down to Southern California, and there was this girl, I was renting her couch from her. And something happened to her, and she decided I couldn't rent her couch anymore. So I had to pack my stuff up, and I was so mad at her. She was standing there, we were talking. It was really for no good reason. And I was trying to get her to explain what she was doing. And I felt this anger and this hatred come out of my body. And when it hit her, you could see the look on her face. Like, I didn't threaten the cold, what you call her. I didn't threaten her with violence. I'm just saying that hate and that energy hit her so hard you could see her face change. And then I thought, I better get out of here. So I leave. So I find out later she had gone out to her car to go somewhere, and her car went off a cliff.
Oh, no.
And her mother called a friend of mine and said, "What did Linda do to my daughter?" And she said, "What do you mean?" I went in, she went off a cliff, and she had both legs broken. She was up in a thing, and she told her mother, "Linda did this to me."
Oh my God.
She says, "Mom, I could see it. She gave me the bad juju." But remember, that was just likened to itself as drawn. So you can't be going around cursing people, because it'll come back on you too.
Well, you know what they say when you're judging stuff, right? You're like this, right? Look at,
Yes.
You're like this with the finger, and where are all the other fingers pointing? Where are the other fingers pointing?
To you.
Yep. Yep. So that's what you have to be aware of. We all have our lives and our situations and exes we've been with and different things. And you hold that anger for that.
Oh, it can.
They say what it is when you hold that anger, it's like drinking poison and wishing the other person dead. that anger is affecting you yourself. And when that anger, when you drink it in like that, it gets stored again into our cells that we talked about. And that's where the disease comes out. That's where our diseases
Exactly.
circulate.
And like I tell people when, like my dad was really tough. I know he loved us, but he was violent. And I would hold that grudge and hold that grudge. And then one day I was becoming, aware, and I decided that you can't forget it. Cause even if I hear a child screaming, it brings up memories for me.
Sure, it's a trigger.
And, but I have forgiven him. I, honest to God, have forgiven him. I don't forget. But you know what that also does? That takes the power away from him. He had no more power over me. So that's what I tell women who had bad husbands or bad lives. I say, or males, it doesn't have to be a female. I say, forgive them. You don't have to forget, forgive them. Because that takes away, basically you're saying, go, be gone. You have no more power over me.
And that's the whole thing. We could either be empowered or we could be a victim.
Exactly.
And that's it. And this whole podcast, Beacons of Balance, is about living in balance. It's about empowering each other.
Exactly.
It's about lifting each other up, seeing the light in each other, and living the best possible days on this little blue marble we call Earth, and happiness, joy, and inner peace, and spreading it out to everyone else, and the weaker ones that don't know and can't do it, and just bring them along to spark them. So ending this episode, which is about our mental, it's balance mentally. Be aware of things that are causing mental overload, whatever it is. Rest, eat nutritionally, and the best thing is,
love.
Watch comedy. They said there's a thing. Norman Cousins, people, you can look it up. He was diagnosed, he had cancer, and he closed himself in his room for 3 months. And he watched the Three Stooges and all comedy. And guess what? He was cancer free. He did it on
No kidding.
Yeah. Laughter. Actually, another thing I'm certified in, folks, is laughter yoga. Because what yoga is about is breath work. It is about moving your diaphragms up. And when you laugh, you just raise your diaphragms. So through laughter, you're doing the yoga. See, we don't have to do downward dog.
Remember that movie, Mad World, Stanley Kramer? That was one of the funniest movies. And I love Jonathan Winters and Robin Williams.
Oh God.
You can Google those and look up old Johnny Carson. But you remember that show, Frasier? Well, the brother had a horrible crush on the English lady that helped take care of the father. He had a horrible crush on her. And remember, he was married to that stiff, cold woman.
Oh, the brother you're talking about.
The brother did. And there was a scene. Niles. There was a scene where she was in the kitchen and he was nonchalantly talking to her. And he put his hands on the counter and he jumped up to go on the counter and he hit his head in the overhead thing where the stove, he hit himself. I think he might have done it in real life. It was so loud. And he was holding his head. She's like, oh my God. I laughed so hard because he was trying to be suave, la, 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 boom. That would have been something I would have done. I remember going out on a date with a guy to a movie and, we were coming in, we had our popcorn and our soda, excuse me. And I slipped. Somebody had left like something on the floor and boom. But of course I get up real quick and I went to act nonchalant, but my knees were hurting after that.
We're off topic here, but we have to laugh.
It's laugh.
Talk about a movie. I went in, first of all, I have night, I can't see. So I go in, it's real dark movie theater, old movie theater, right? And so I'm looking, and I thought I saw seats. So I'm holding, and I go, and I sit down, and I sat on somebody. So fast. And I started laughing. The whole row started laughing.
My God.
I didn't know.
Oh my God. Oh, were they upset or what did they laugh?
I was a guy who probably was excited that I was sitting on him.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. But I still oh God, that brought back a memory. That is so funny.
That is so funny. And when I was young, my dad was a fireman, so he could get us in the movies free. He used to go to the local store, 25 cents. We get those big candy bars and everything, about 5 pieces. And we went into the movies and we were late. We had our little bag of candy and we're going, excuse me. You could probably see 3 fat heads, we were young, we were little. And my brother had a sick sense of humor. We go to sit down and my brother got one so loud and he locked his front feet in the seat in front of him, his down below and up, and what, whoa, like that. And of course, everybody's looking. And I remember me and my sister just disappearing. It was so embarrassing.
And talk about that because my first ex was a fireman, and anyways, that's irrelevant to the story. But we went to see some major with a big. It wasn't IMAX, but it was a big theater. He's walking down the aisle. He went for popcorn. And like my accident with the cars, he stopped short, and a guy right behind, he stopped, and the guy's popcorn and soda went up in his face.
Oh my gosh.
I was so mad at him.
Oh, I bet. Oh, did he buy the guy new popcorn and soda?
I don't
Oh,
remember.
gosh.
Of course, then I was mortified. It's like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Get away. Go in the other row. I'm not with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well,
So we ended it laughter.
remember
That's good.
to be the change you want to see.
Right. And from our hearts to your hearts, in balance, love, joy. And remember to love starting with yourself. Remember to subscribe, to listen, to watch, spread the word, and write in, tell us what you would like to hear, future topics. We're going to have a lot of good things coming on and a lot of future guest speakers and that also.
Thank you, you guys. Cheers.
Take care. Love you. Love you. Bye, honey.
Bye.